So I promised myself that I would share even the ugly parts of myself on this journey. God has given me a gift. The gifts that I have is a gift of understanding my feelings, my emotions, and being able to put words to those feelings and emotions, to be able to translate, all the feelings that I feel and what I go through, because not everyone knows how to completely understand what it is that they're feeling for first and foremost, but to be able to put words to those feelings. And that is actually a gift that God has given me in order to help people understand what they feel, to be able to put their finger on what it is that they're exactly feeling so that they can heal that part of themselves. Because there's many different things we go through in life, and there's many different areas of the heart that experiences certain kinds of trauma. And the only way to heal is to put your finger on those broken areas. And for me, it's like I have to share those not so, pretty parts of myself in my life, because, you know, there's seasons, a lot of seasons in life where I'm down in the trenches and I'm fighting against the waves just crashing against me. And, I'm realizing that that's what I've been going through, because I've been finding myself complaining, and I asked myself this morning, like, I look at my posts on Facebook over this last year. I look at what I'm posting. I look at what I'm thinking and feeling. And I realize it's a lot of complaining. And I asked myself, because, like, why am I complaining so much? Because really, in reality, I love my life. I love what I've created in my life. But what I realized this morning is that I've been down in the trenches. I've been down, like, getting my hands dirty in my life. I've been taking, punches. I've been, putting my boxing gloves on. I've been pulling myself up by the bootstraps constantly. I've been, just swimming in this current of water, but at the same time all of these waves are just crashing up against me. And it's like, I've been asking God, like, God, show me a vision of myself in my life. Help me to understand what it is that I'm feeling on the inside and why I'm feeling that way. And I feel like God, when you ask him that and you sit quietly, he gives you that, like, vision. You have a vision now of, like, seeing where you're at. And I've been just getting this feeling of these waves crashing up against me, like all the way up, like hitting me on the chest hard, and like coming up, like being in, like, neck deep water, and treading water, and like seeing that the waves, like, they have moments of coming in hard, just crashing up against me. And then I have moments of where, like, it's slowing down a little to where I can kind of tread water. But it's like I'm getting stronger, but I'm tired. I'm very tired. And my muscles are being used, but my muscles are getting tired. I'm getting cramps. You know what I'm saying? Like spiritual cramps, to where it's like, okay, God, like, I appreciate the lessons and I appreciate everything you're trying to show me and the strength you're trying to build within me. But it's like we go through those seasons where it's like, God, like, I'm just being honest with you. Like, I really can't go much longer. Like, I can't. I need, and God is teaching me that, we have those seasons of, like, you see signs where it says, like, this isn't going to last always. This storm isn't going to last forever. At some point, the sunshine is going to come in. The dark clouds are going to roll away. And, the storm is going to pass. And it's like, until the storm passes, you have to withstand the pressure of that storm. And that's where, like, I love the Bible, like, and how it explains, know which season you are in. What season are you in? Are you in a season of sowing or reaping? Are you in a storm right now? Or are you in a season of sunshine? It's like, you need to know what season you are in order to know that you have to withstand the storm. And knowing that the storm is going to roll away at some point. But it's still praying to God and being honest, and asking God to show you where you are. And me, I'm just like, because there's certain things that we say and do that, we shock ourselves. It's like when you're being squeezed and you're feeling the pressure and the burdens and, everything just crashing up against you and you're in a survival mode. It's like you say and do things that surprise yourself by the things that you're saying and doing. And then when you thought you grew in a certain area, it's like, no matter how much you grow and how much you mature spiritually, it literally takes the right storm to come your way for you to be broken in a completely different area. And you're just like, damn, like, I feel like I let myself down again. I feel like I let people down again. I feel like, the way my mentality is in these situations, I feel like all the work I've done on myself throughout the past isn't even working in this season of my life. And I'm frustrated because, I've worked so hard to overcome all these other areas and to become a better person, to be more patient, to, you work hard on so many different areas, and then a storm hits in your life in a completely different area, and it's catching you off guard, and the way you respond to it has you viewing yourself a certain kind of way. And then on top of everything else that's already going on, you feel disappointed within yourself because you're like, how did I miss this? Like, how did I not conquer this? How have I not learned all my lessons in the past, and now I'm in this like storm again, and I'm not doing well. Like, I'm not doing well in it. And like, you're becoming honest with yourself about the fact that you're becoming overwhelmed. And I think that's the breaking point that we reach. I feel like when you're in the storm, you can't see what's going on. But when the storm is almost over and the rain clouds are beginning to clear, you're in a fight or flight mode. And you're, at times even looking for situations or people to blame because you don't understand why it's happening. Or if you're already going through something so tense and so, hard, and then people cross your path, people irritate you even more because you're already hurting on the inside because of what you're experiencing, and people say or do something wrong, or you're just too sensitive and they're saying or doing something that's irritating you more because you're on the edge already. So then you're just like battling it out with everybody that's coming around because, oh, he said or she said something wrong. He bumped me. You know what I'm saying? As an example, like people, they bump you in a crowd when you're walking, as an example, but it's spiritually speaking, when you're already going through something and people just rub you the wrong way, you just want to lash out because you're like, life is just so hard on me right now, and I'm hurting so much about certain issues that I'm dealing with, and everything bumping into you. And it's like, the thing about it is, you're irritated. So you're just like, but at the same time, when you're going through something, everyone is going through something different. So it's like, no one understands exactly what I'm going through. So nobody can have a certain type of compassion on me that I need them to have, because they can't put themselves in my shoes exactly the way I need them to in order to understand the sensitive parts of myself. And so I'm realizing that that's what I've been going through. It's like, nobody is going to understand the specific areas that I'm sensitive in. And so what makes me sensitive and what I'm hurting about isn't the same thing that someone else is hurting about. It's not the same thing that someone else is going through. Like, it's not the same broken place in the heart that someone else is experiencing. And so when a person thinks that you can be strong and that you could take a certain jab, it's because they can take that jab. But that might not be something you can take because of what you've experienced. And so I'm realizing today, for some reason, I'm asking God. I'm like, God, why is, honestly, this just sounds bad, but why is everybody like getting on my nerves? Like, for real. Why? And this sounds horrible, but it's like, I'm being real. Why are people, hurting me? Why is everybody saying and doing something that's really just getting to me? Why do I just feel like I can't really be around anybody right now, even though I feel like I need more support than I've ever needed before? It's like I'm down in the trenches and I'm lonely in the trenches that I'm in. I'm lonely going through all this stuff, and I want people around. But at the same time, every time I go around people, I'm not comfortable. I'm like really just agitated. Somebody's looking at me the wrong way. Somebody's saying something that I don't like. Somebody's treating me a certain way that I don't want to be treated. And so it's making me take an honest look at what's been going on and looking at, like, God, help me understand this for real. Like, instead of everything just being a blur, like, what is really going on here, And it's because things in life have really been that hard. It's not that I'm being too sensitive. It's the fact that, like, we talk about inflation, we talk about the economy, we talk about, COVID, and the fact that, we've been dealing with all these things, dealing with the isolation, dealing with the recovery of it, financially, emotionally, dealing with trying to regroup ourselves and for life to become a little more normal than it's been. But at the same time, nothing is going back to the way it once was before all of this happened. So, like, people's personalities have changed. The way everybody reacts and responds to each other is different. The way people are more sensitive now, like, the customer service industry is different. Financially, things are harder than they were before. It's like, just the cost of living going up has made it hard for families to spend quality time together, and that affects the children as well as the adults, and me as a mom, I nurture my daughter, and I realize, being real with myself, that I nurture my daughter, but I realize I need to be nurtured as a mother. I need a certain type of, attention and compassion. I need a certain type of, I'm down in the trenches dealing with all these different things. So I have wounds. I have, insecurities. I have baggage that I need to tend to within myself. And it's realizing those things. It's realizing when you need that extra compassion, and that at times we look to people to give us those things. And I realize I've been looking to others to give me something that they don't know, they don't understand how to give me, because they're not, they don't have the same broken areas within themselves that I have within myself. So I realize, with all this being said, that no one can love me the way I do. No one knows where I hurt. No one knows where my broken places are, and no one knows how to touch those broken areas within myself. It's like I have to look within myself. I have to call upon God to help me see what's broken within me. Let God shine those areas in those broken places. And it's like there's steps to being healed. There's steps to, first figuring out where those problems are. And the fact that we're looking to others to help us find those broken places. And in a way, people do help with those broken areas, because when you're sensitive in different spots and people hurt you, or you get touched,